Hey, what's going on guys? I'm Swan Random and welcome back to another Midnight Ghost Hunt video. Today, I'm going to be ranking all of the haunts for you guys, going from worst to best, and let's get into it. At the number 8 spot, we've got Sledge Hunter. Now, this haunt is mostly useless. I mean, mostly useless. It is very niche on just a few maps. You can maybe get some use out of it because you could possibly knock somebody off ledges, but most of my time spent using this, I've done nothing. And there's some maps where it just is entirely useless. There's just nothing you can do with it. It's a slight annoyance for the hunters, I would say. I mean, slight, if even. But most of the times that I've used it, it's done nothing. Most of the times I've been hit by it, it's done nothing. So it's going to come in at number 8 just for its sheer lack of really doing anything. At the number 7 spot, we've got Hallucinate. Now, what this does is it spawns a random ghost-like sound that is supposed to distract and mislead hunters. And the problem that comes with Hallucinate is that when you use it too many times, it starts to become repetitive, and then they will realize that there is a hallucinate happening. You'll realize very quickly if there's just a whole bunch of random ghost sounds that it's probably a hallucinate, because ghost sounds don't really happen that fast that often in random spots. It can be somewhat useful if you use it correctly and you're good with it and you're playing against a team who are like actually really listening to sounds, but other than that, it just doesn't really do the most, and everything on the list kind of outclasses it. At number 6, we have False Trail. Now, False Trail gets most of its use out of hunters using Pathfinder. If they aren't using Pathfinder, there's really not the most you're going to get out of False Trail. I've led a few people on, but more often than not, it doesn't really do the most. For number 5, we have Chill. Now, Chill is actually pretty useful. I initially thought Chill was entirely useless, but it's actually okay whenever you're getting your teammates out of some situations. If one of your friends is being chased by like 3 hunters and you manage to hit all 3 of them with Chill and get rid of their sprint, it is pretty devastating. It's an entire opportunity for your teammate to get away, which can be super useful sometimes. But outside of that, where it really kind of falls short is the fact that when you're not chasing anybody or you're not helping a teammate and you're just walking around with Chill, it doesn't really do anything. You're kind of just getting rid of their sprint, but for what? It's not really doing the most, you know. For number 4, we have Push Object. Now, what's really interesting about Push Object is that it can trigger corrupted props. It's one of the only, or I think it is the only haunt that can actually deal damage, which is pretty interesting. And I feel like this could be higher if I'd ever seen anybody really good with it. But I've never seen anybody good with it. I'm not good with it. It's kind of somewhat useful, and I really think that this does what Hallucinate does better than what Hallucinate does, because when you push something, it's going to cause a sound. It does its effect and it does Hallucinate's effect for all in one, which is super useful, and it can also trigger corrupted props to do damage, which can be, very niche, but it can happen. It can. At number 3, we have Medium, and I think Medium is only this high because we are so early in the game state. Once people start to really figure out what's going on, I think Medium will be more used to annoy people. As of right now, I've definitely just said a few times, oh yeah, hide near the generator, or yeah, just stay there, oh, they're right next to you. And I've seen every single hunter on the enemy team just like freak out and run to the generator, or just like start looking around frantically. It works. Right now it works. I don't think it'll always work, but right now I think it sits pretty solid at the number 3 spot. Probably the surprise of the list is going to be Health Orb coming in at number 2. Now what this does is spawn a healing orb. It does heal you for a considerable amount of damage, and it is a lifeline for every ghost that is currently surviving. If you're the first to die and you have Health Orb, every single successful escape you can put a friendly ghost back at full health, which is disgusting, which is absolutely insane. I think that Health Orb is definitely one of the best haunts in the game. I feel like if more people would run it, they would understand the real value of having more health. The more health you have, the longer you have to escape, the more items you can transfer to and get that higher percentage of health. It's amazing. I love Health Orb. It is one of my favorite to use, but it does not quite outclass our number 1 spot. And coming in at number 1 is Cold Spot. Now, this would be incredibly useful all the time. Like, the cold spot is always incredibly useful. Everybody runs radar. The game is still early, so obviously everybody runs radar. Radar is always happening, and it's actually kind of difficult as a hunter to figure out that there's a cold spot going on. It actually is rather difficult. You don't actually know that this is a cold spot, because radars can actually go through the room you're in, the room above you, the room below you. And that means that hunters will waste up to a minute 30 looking at a top floor, bottom floor, middle floor, just trying to find this cold spot. It is incredible. It is the best in the game. It almost is kind of stupid. Like, there's a point where, you know, if somebody dies right off the bat and they have cold spot, I mean, it's honestly kind of a meta to just have someone die real fast and use cold spot. Really disgusting. Cold spot's great. It's the best in the game. You should probably use it. So yeah, guys, that is my list of the haunts, ranking from worst to best. If you guys disagree with me, please let me know why in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. It means so much to content creators like myself, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.